Hello everyone, I am Biswajeet and I am excited to share my latest project on the patient recruitment and adherence monitoring system. This project is designed to help clinical research teams to track patient recruitment, monitor adherence, and evaluate site performance, all in one intelligent and interactive dashboard. So before moving forward, let's discuss the data engineering behind this project. The data is collected to server from the EDC and EMR system of the hospital. Then I use PostgreSQL for storing and managing the data comes from the server. Here I created multiple SQL views to calculate the several KPIs and other calculations. Then I integrate these SQL views into the FastAPI, which acted as the backend layer, converting raw SQL outputs into clean, secure API endpoints. For deployment, I use Railway. This basically hosts my FastAPI backend seamlessly and automatically provides live API endpoints that connect to my frontend. And speaking of the frontend, the entire dashboard is built in React.js, where I use charts, cards, and filters to visualize the insights in a modern, user-friendly way. Finally, the complete React dashboard was deployed live using Netlify, making it accessible to anyone, anywhere. Now before we dive deeper, a quick note, the dataset used here is fully fictional. All patient data, records and hospital names such as AIIMS Delhi, Bangalore, Patna and AIIMS Jodhpur are dummy data created by me using Python only for this demonstration. This does not represent any real clinical data or hospital performance. However, this system is completely adaptable. We can plug in real-world medical datasets anytime to make the insights even more authentic and valuable for the healthcare and research industry. So let's begin the journey and explore how this dashboard brings data to life from recruitment to adherence and operational excellence. This is our first page. On the left side, we have a slide bar that allows user to navigate across all the pages and insights easily. At the bottom, you can see the latest data refresh date, ensuring the information shown is always up to date. There is also an administrative section. In the future, we can enhance this by adding row-level security, where user can log in with their own credential and only access the pages assigned to them. Now moving to the main insights. This is executive summary, which highlights the key KPIs such as total patients is 2,830, the total visit is 5,000, the completion rate is 86.1%, and the missed visit is 335. So here, this chart is showing the enrollment patients versus the target in the newly developed monitoring system for a clinical trial. This showing the total target was 4,000 enrollment, and currently the system achieved only 2,830. Now, this donut chart displays the visit status showing 4,300 visits are completed, the 355 visits are missed, and the 340 visits are rescheduled. Lastly, this bar chart shows the trend of patient enrollment from January to the August, highlighting both the average and the peak performance during the trial period. Now let's move to our another page, site analysis. Here at the top we have KPIs like the active sites, the average patient, and the top performer, which is AIIMS Delhi with 982 patients, and the least performer, which is AIIMS Delhi with 420 patients. Here in this bar chart showing the number of enrollment or patient in each sites, showing Delhi leads with 982, followed by the Bangalore with 719, and Patna with 709 patients, and Jodhpur with 420 patients only. The next column chart highlights the missed visit, where Jodhpur records with the highest at 114, followed by the Bangalore, Patna and Delhi. And in this bar chart, we can observe the pending or rescheduled visits, with Delhi having the list with 36 patients, and Patna, Bangalore and Jodhpur following the same trend like 106 patients, 110 and 108. Below here, we have a group bar chart showing the gender distribution across all the sites, comparing male, female and other participants. Here this is the data summary of all gender distribution across all the sites. Finally, we have an age distribution chart showing how participants are spread across all age groups. The age group 16 to 30 has the highest participation, followed by the 31 to 45 age group. This showing younger individuals are more active and open to contributing to clinical research, while others might be less involved due to trust issues, lack of awareness or treatment urgency. Now coming to our next page, patient adherence. So before moving ahead, let's understand what adherence means. In clinical trials, adherence basically shows how closely patients follow their treatment plans, like taking medicine on time, attending visits, and completing all required checkups. Here I have combined all three factors with equal weightage to calculate the overall adherence rate, which is then categorized into high, medium, and low groups. So at the top of our page, we have KPIs like active patients, which is 2,830. The adherence rate is 86.1%, and the dropout rate is 7.24%, which is patient attrition, and the non-adherence rate is 13.90%, and the pending rate is 7.20%. Here we have a donut chart showing the adherence distribution across all the sites, with 2,204 patients falling under the high adherence category, and 386 patients follow under the medium adherence, and in low adherence there were 240 patients only. Here we have a dropout trend. This chart basically shows the patient attrition over the time. We can see in January and February at the highest dropout rates, likely because the trial system was newly introduced and the staff was still adjusting. After a couple of months, the dropout rate decreased as process becomes smoother for all the staff. Here in this radial chart, this showing the screening overview analysis, where here we can observe the screening result, which is showing the total screening passed patient is 3,309, and the failed screening was 1,691. And coming to the failure reason, we have the most common failure reason was the lab abnormality, which is 1,169, followed by the consent withdrawn, medical history exclusion, and the inclusion criteria not met. And here there is a screening source chart where we can see the 1,688 patients were come from the hospital referral, and the community outreach, from the community outreach we have the 1,690 patients, and the self-referred patients were 1,622. Now moving on the monthly site visit trends, this basically displays the number of visits made across all the sites from January to the August. This helps us to track activity over the time. Here we have a e-diary submission stats showing how many patients submitted or missed their e-diary across all the sites, and at the bottom we can see the percentage of e-diary submission for each site. Finally, this donut chart represents the adverse events overview after medication, with a total of 341 AE reported across all the sites. Among them, 19.6% are mild like rashes, 57.2% were moderate like headaches, nausea, and vomiting, and 23.2% are severe like fatigue. Below that, we can also see the AE category distribution across all the sites, which shows Delhi recorded the highest AE counts, along with the breakdown of severity at each site. Now coming to our final page, operational metrics. This page basically focuses on key operational KPIs such as total queries, which is 29,974, the closed queries, which is 21,729, the open queries is 8,245, and the query completeness, which is 90.67%, and the average resolution time is 6.5 days. Here in this 3-bar chart showing the site-wise query completeness and the medication taken percent site-wise and the average resolving time of query site-wise. So before moving ahead, let's understand a bit about randomized and non-randomized patient. In clinical trial, basically randomized patients are those who are officially assigned to treatment groups after passing the screening phase, while non-randomized patients are those who were screened but did not move forward to the treatment stage. Here we have a randomized versus non-randomized data displayed across all the sites, with a summary bar showing the percentage of randomized patients per sites. Finally, there is a detailed comprehensive site-wise operational metrics table summarizing the overall performance of each site in one view. So coming to the download report, from here you can download the complete project report, which basically includes the summary and the key findings of the clinical trial dashboard. From here, you can connect with me directly. Check out my data projects on GitHub, follow me on LinkedIn, and support my YouTube channel, where I will going to share similar dashboard, walkthrough, and data stories. So if you are looking to hire data talent like me or want to collaborate on your next data project, feel free to reach out at datawithbiswajeet@gmail.com. I would be happy to discuss and create something meaningful together. I am also deeply passionate about contributing to society, so if you have projects related to community development and upliftment, I would be glad to support them pro bono with my skills and effort. And with that, I would like to thank everyone who stayed till the end of this project walkthrough. Your support truly motivates me to keep learning, building, and sharing more insightful data stories ahead. Radhe Radhe.